Newsmax Chief White House Correspondent James Rosen joins us live right now from the North Lawn with more on this. James, good afternoon.
Bianca, good afternoon to you. The Vice President's 90-minute sit-down with Oprah Winfrey was recorded in Farmington Hills, a suburb about a half-hour north of Detroit, and was, as you say, live-streamed as a kind of celebrity-studded virtual rally. So the likes of Meryl Streep, Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, and others joined in remotely. On crime and guns, the Vice President said, if somebody breaks into my house, they're getting shot, adding she's not out to take people's guns away. But on the issue that is number one for most voters this cycle, substantive answers didn't come easily, or at least readily.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family, and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently, far more elusive than it's been.
Oprah, for her part, spoke of the veil that she saw lift when the Vice President back in July stepped into her own and replaced her boss at the top of the Democratic ticket.
And then the next week, I saw you walking in the thing. And I said, what happened to you?
You know, we each have those moments in our lives where it's time to step up.
Time to step up.
Time to step up, you know?
Well, the moment you heard.
Moments ago, President Biden convened the first meeting of his cabinet in 11 months. In remarks to the Economic Club of Washington, D.C. yesterday, the chief executive cited the cut in interest rates by the Federal Reserve and the latest inflation data to argue that he is leaving the American economy in what he called a good place.
At its peak, as you all know, inflation was 9.1% in the United States. Today, it is much closer to 2%. It doesn't mean our work is done. Far from it. Far from it. No one should confuse why I'm here. I'm not here to take a victory lap. I'm not here to say a job well done. I'm not here to say we don't have a hell of a lot more work to do. We do have more work to do. But what I am here to speak about is how far we come.
Most polls, however, show the American people continuing to give the Biden-Harris administration poor marks on the handling of the economy. The Real Clear Politics average of major reliable polls shows fewer than 4 in 10 Americans approving of the job the administration's doing on the economy. Just before the cameras were shoved out of that cabinet meeting, President Biden took a couple of questions from reporters about the Middle East. He was asked about the continuing efforts to try and get a ceasefire for hostages deal in Gaza, seeming increasingly elusive. The president saying a lot of things don't look realistic until we get them done. We have to keep at it. And then about the increasing tensions in the north, where Israel has been exchanging fire with Hezbollah, and there have been those explosions of pagers and walkie-talkies. The president said that the administration is trying to make sure both people in northern Israel as well as southern Lebanon are able to go back to their homes and go back safely. Bianca.
James Rosen live for us at the White House with all of the serious issues and also this Oprah live stream. Pretty interesting campaign stop there. Thanks, James. Good to see you.